In this tutorial we are going to focus on the editing in iMovie. If you don't know how to create new projects or import movie clips from your iPhone, go refer to the manual or watch another tutorial that is just about the importing. I've gone ahead and imported some footage we took from Stuttgart's Christmas market, like this nutcracker and several other shots as well. And I want to start this tutorial by showing you in and out point editing. If you look at this clip, you see that I got this skimmer here, this is the red line, that I can use to pick which picture or frame that I want to use in the edit. If you hold down the mouse button and make a selection, we now have an in point and an out point set in this particular clip. You see this clip begins right here and ends right here, and we've selected now a range in this clip using in and out points. And this is basically how video editing works. You have an in point and an out point, and now you just use these 2 points in your timeline. Now that we've added this particular range to the project, we now see an orange bar appear. This means we now have this particular part of this particular clip in the timeline already. There's sometimes purple lines. These tell you that iMovie thinks there are people in this shot, which is kind of right in this case. There are also other indicators like this curved line here that tell you that this shot is very shaky. There's also another shot that is very shaky. Yeah, here is where I use my camera so that I can record these wooden boards. And what I want to do is I want to edit these 2 nutcracker shots together so that it looks like the nut is going into his mouth, and then when it is in his mouth, or when the nut goes to his mouth, we see the nutcracker from the front, where you can see his eyes moving. So let me make a very rough selection and add it to the timeline, because we're going to use the so-called precision editor to make this edit perfect. You don't have to make precise edits right from the beginning. You select the second clip of which you want to have the precision editor appear, and then you just go to Window, Precision Editor. Now we have this 2-up display right here in the top left corner. We see the outgoing clip in the top and the incoming clip at the bottom. Here we have 3 lines that we can use. We have the upper line that lets us pick the outgoing frame. We have the lower part of this line that lets us pick the incoming frame. And we can also click in the middle, where we just move both frames together. Let's pick a frame for the outgoing clip. Let's say right where the nut goes into his mouth, right about, let's say here. And here we select a frame where the nut is about at the same position. Okay, so it's almost in his mouth. Now let's see if this edit is perfect. And when the nut goes down his mouth, I want to cut back to the other shot. So let's go back to the event library. Again, pick the nutcracker and add it to the end. And the same thing again. That looks right. Let's review. If you have actual people in the shot, this would look much more dramatic. Another way of using the precision editor is, let's say I want to pick the second clip here from this nativity scene, add it to the timeline. Then I go into the precision editor And now I want to pick a frame where my camera is actually moving already. So you see that in this part of the clip we have this kind of static picture, and right here my camera starts moving. And we can just pick that part, click done, and have a perfect edit. Let me show you how to add a transition, because that's the thing that we're going to need right now. If you haven't set a theme right from the beginning, you can do so right here as well. This gives you different options for transitions, lower thirds, and so forth. There are a couple of transitions that you can choose from, but actually those that are most helpful are cross dissolve, cross blur, fade to black, fade to white if you want to have it flashy, and cross zoom. The others look cool, but are not as useful because they just look cool, but the simplest ones are the most helpful ones. So let's add a little short cross dissolve here. And now we have this cross dissolve that fades to this shot. When you open the precision editor with a transition edit, you also see the transition in the precision editor. This way you can also extend the length of a transition, but also move again both pictures around at the same time. Choose the right in and out point of an edit. So now let me add some more shots to our timeline. I now have 3 more clips in our timeline. I want to talk about the last shot here. You see that at the beginning I have this shake going on here. Let's adjust the clip. Click this cogwheel here and not just open the precision editor, but you can also open the clip trimmer. The clip trimmer allows you to adjust in and out point of a clip after you've added it to the timeline. So we can just choose another in point for our clip. Then we just click done, and we now have a less shaky shot. You see that I haven't quite gotten it, so let's just adjust it by another way. Just park your playhead onto a frame that is not shaky, then right click and select trim to playhead. And now we have a perfect in frame. Can do the same thing for the outgoing part, because as I was filming the top of this Christmas tree, I've gone down a bit. So let's just remove that part. Again, right click, trim to playhead. Okay, looks good. Now here's the second recommendation for using transitions. Let's go way to the end and add a fade to black transition. And close the transitions. Now at the end, we get this very short, quick fade out to black. You can double click a transition and change its length in the so-called inspector, which makes this fade to black very long, slow and smooth. Very nice for a holiday movie. Now some more advanced editing tips. You see that these 3 shots here are rather slow. The way to fix this is again this little cogwheel here and open the clip adjustments. This opens a similarly looking inspector, but now we get access to the clip settings, and among the clip settings is a speed setting that lets you pick from 200% to 400 and 800%, as well as the negative speeds as well. For this speed up I want to have 400%. You can also enter custom values into the text field. So now let me just click done. We've sped up this video, but the audio is sounding weird because it's playing at 400% its original speed. Again, we can fix this right from the clip adjustments or by going directly to the audio adjustments. I'll show you the clip adjustments because you see these 3 tabs at the top. And here we can just select the audio settings, and I can just pull the volume down to 0%. And now this clip is silent. Now we could also have done this right from the timeline. Just click this button here to show the waveform. Now let's just pull down the volume of these 2 clips as well. Make the audio waveform go away. And now we want to quickly have these clip adjustments on this clip and on this clip. The quickest way to do that is by selecting the original clip, then go to Edit, Copy, then select the other 2 clips by holding down the Command key. Then again go to the Edit menu, and here you have a menu, Paste Adjustments. Here you can paste either all adjustments, just the video adjustments, the audio adjustments, the video effect, the stabilization, but also the speed settings. The other 2 clips are now much shorter as well and play at a much higher speed. You probably won't want to have a much more precise edit with your own holiday movie. This is just an example, that's why I'm not editing as thoroughly. The last thing that I want to show you right here is you can add texts as well on top of your clips. Let's say a lower third, for instance. Drag it onto a clip, then let go. By default, it's the length of the selected clip, and you can edit the text right up here. When you're done, just click Done. You can also show the fonts to adjust the fonts. But what I want to actually show you is not just that you can add text to the clips, you can also drag it around, and you can even extend the text to whatever size you want. If you double click a text, you can see you can also pick from the themes, for instance pull focus, which blurs the background. But what I want to use for our project is this pixie dust here. Click Done. And now we've got this pixie dust text going on here. You probably have realized that this shot here has been taken with the iPhone in portrait, which means that we have black bars on the left and right. We can adjust this by going to the cropping and rotation settings. Here you can either choose fit or crop. In my case, I want to use crop. This gives us a preview of the clip we want to select. And when I click Done, the video is now filled with the shot. Now that we've done with the editing, you might want to go ahead and also add some songs from your iTunes library to accompany your clip. Just drag them to your project and they are going to be added. I can't play this project with the audio edit, so I need to remove it. But for your own project, you know where to find the audio and music settings. The last thing that you can add to your project is a voiceover. Just go to the project beginning and select the microphone symbol. You get a dialog where you can choose where to record from, and then just select the clip where you want to begin to record. Stuttgart's Christmas market is one of the most standard Christmas markets that you can go to. Stuttgart's Christmas market is one of the most standard Christmas markets that you can go to. Now that you know how to edit a shot, add a voiceover, make some clip adjustments, one last thing that I want to show you is in the video adjustments. Sometimes you make a video shot and the colors don't look right. And this is where you need to go to the video adjustments. Here you can simply select auto, which automatically selects the color range for you, but you can also adjust exposure, brightness and the white point as well. You can also just go to the preview area and pick a pixel that looks white to you, and iMovie is going to pick that point and use it as a white point. But you can also adjust everything manually as well. To export your project out of iMovie, go to the Share menu. Here you can either directly upload to YouTube, Facebook or Vimeo, or just save to your hard drive by going to Export Movie. Here you can pick from one of 5 choices: mobile, medium and HD settings. You see on the chart which devices this video is going to play on. If I pick HD 720p, this is going to play on an iPhone, iPad and on my computer. I can't actually pick 1080p because the footage that I have isn't 1080p. If you hover your mouse over the small eye, you see some more information this video stream is going to be encoded in. So the video is going to be an H.264 movie at 30 frames per second and so forth. If you really want to have advanced export settings, you need to go to Share and select Export using QuickTime. Here you need to go to the options and then to the video settings. Here you can pick from all the codecs you have installed. I probably have more than you have because I have Final Cut installed, so I got the ProRes ones installed. And the one that encodes at the highest quality setting is Photo JPEG. This is also known as Motion JPEG, where every frame is saved individually as a full JPEG image. Now, why would you want to export the project at its highest quality? The original project can die, even iMovie can die, but you still have access to the highest quality exported movie. And if new devices come onto the scene, you can always use some video encoder like Handbrake, Adapter or MPEG Streamclip to encode a new video for these devices. For sound, you should choose Linear, PCM or Apple Lossless to get the highest quality setting as well. Then just click Save to export the video.